Hey everybody, Jabman025 here. Today we're taking a look at my third EX model kit, the mobile ship Argama. The EX line is mainly for ships and mobile armors that can't be built in a standard scale, so they give them these scales. The difference is these kits can be kind of expensive. I got this one off eBay pretty cheap because the box was pretty beat up. But these kits always require a lot of painting and sometimes some gluing. They aren't like your standard Gundam model kit, so we're going to have a look at this one. Like I said, you need to do some painting because this whole thing is molded in white. The plates are standard Gundam plates that you're all used to, but everything is white, and as you probably guessed, the Argama is not 100% white. The one exception to this rule in this kit are these pieces here, die-cast pieces for the back, which is very rare to see a die-cast piece. This is mainly to keep the ship balanced. It's very front-heavy, but as soon as you add these, it all balances out. Another thing you have to do with the EX kits is you have to make a decision what kind of kit you want. Here you have an option to either put a missile in that pod or keep this pod shut, as so. I didn't actually have to glue it for a change, and when I did the white base I had to glue a lot, but not here. But after you've painted this, it'll be very difficult to take that off again, so you got to make that decision at the get-go. More painting. Here's the bridge. You see yellow, of course that red. You have that cannon on the front, which I painted gunmetal. And you can see, I didn't do a very even paint job, so I got to go back in and do some cleaning. You also see there those doors. You can have those open or shut. And that's another decision you have to make from the get-go. The engines, like I said, you got to put the die-cast pieces in the back. This helps keeps the kit balanced when it's on its stand. But even when you do, you got a lot of painting to do back here. That whole back section needs to be black, including the die-cast parts, and a little bit of red accent work. But a lot of painting here. And you got your standard panel lining and some more painting on the front. And here you see the landing decks. That whole thing's got to be painted gray. You have this middle section here, which I'll talk about in a bit. You got more cannons on the bottom. A lot of painting to do on this guy. And here you see the back half put on. Again, a little more black lining. Got some red to paint on the back engines and on those back wings. Again, I didn't do a perfect job here, so I had to go back in and do some detail work. When you're painting something this small, you're always going to make an error here and error there, so you got to go back in, fix some of your mistakes. It's just general model painting, especially on something this small, and with this much little detail here and there. But a Gundam marker Real Touch came in very handy for this guy. And here you see the base. I went ahead and painted the base black. And you see these bars here. These are for the gravity blocks. You can have these connected in or out. And again, that's a decision you have to make at the beginning. Which one do you want? These gravity blocks swing around, just like they do in the anime. The idea is as these swing around, they actually have gravity in those blocks. So artificial gravity is possible in the Argama in those blocks. And you can spin that around to whatever position you like, and that's kind of neat. Now at this point, I was looking at the Argama and I decided it looked a little too nice. It looked a little too clean. By the time we were introduced to the Argama in Zeta Gundam, it was already a well-used battleship. Unlike the white base, it wasn't brand new. It had been used by the time Camille and his gang showed up, so I decided to give this a little bit of grit and grime and nastiness. Just a slight bit of weathering, nothing too heavy, just to show that this is a battleship that has been through some stuff already. To do that, I use one of my favorite paints, the X19 Smoke from Tamiya. This is a very good paint for adding just a little bit of grime, a little bit of grit, nothing too heavy. It's a nice base coat for weathering, or if you just want a light coat of weathering, this is great for that. The problem with that is, it has a very glossy finish. To kill that, you use a matte finish to cover that up. And there you go. A little roughed up, not too bad. Looks like a used weapon of war. I always thought the white base looked nice and clean, but then again it was a brand new ship when we saw it. It hadn't even been used. Argama had been used. It's a battleship. And there you see the other two ships in my EX line, the white base and the Eternal. The Argama was the easiest of the three, I'll admit. The white base and the Eternal were a bit more of a challenge, but this was still a fun kit. I'm not saying this is bad anyway. Final thoughts? I'm giving this kit a thumbs up. I didn't pay a whole lot for this kit because the box was so beat up I got it off eBay. The problem with these EX kits is some people like to gouge on them. You shouldn't be paying anywhere over $20, $25 for these kits, but a lot of people are asking for $40, $50. That's crazy. Keep your eye out for some deals. If you like building these kind of ships, go ahead. Just keep in mind, they require some painting, they require some gluing. This isn't your standard Gunpla kit, but it's a fun kit nonetheless. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found it informative. If you got any questions, please ask me. I'll answer them as best I can. And stay tuned for more. I always got more reviews coming. And I will see you guys next time with another review. Oh, and one more thing. Okay. Would someone please like to explain how I'm supposed to land on that damn thing? What are the tiers of time anyway?